What's up, everybody, and good morning. Today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. I'm about to brew up some coffee right now, and since it's October and it's almost Halloween, I wanted to talk a little bit about the coffees that I drink close to Halloween time. There's a couple of companies that I order from all the time, and every year they release special edition coffees for Halloween. And so if you're a big coffee fan, or you're interested in that, or you're looking for any kind of cool themed coffees or things like that, stay tuned, check out this video. I'm going to talk a little bit about these companies. They're really cool. And yeah, hopefully you'll find this interesting. So I've got my Halloween mug here that I drink out of every year. And I've got the water boiling. And I just want to start off by talking a little bit about what makes these coffees different, what makes them so good, and what makes them stand out from coffee you're going to get like in Safeway. This is not pumpkin spice flavored coffee. This is not some like artificially flavored coffee or anything like that. So this is going to get a little bit nerdy for a second. Might piss some people off, and this might not be super interesting to you, but just to explain a little bit, I'm going to pick up this Friday the 13th bag here. So they did this one special because we've got a Friday the 13th that was in October. So this is from a company called Brandywine Coffee Roasters, and you're going to hear them quite a few times in this video. But starting with this coffee right here, this Friday the 13th coffee, if you flip it over, it says it has notes of berry compote, caramel, and watermelon. This is a bourbon varietal, natural processed coffee. It's got the altitude and the roast date and all that. So the reason it says those notes in here are not because it's flavored with berry or caramel or watermelon. So again, I know that this is like, maybe people don't care about this, but it really makes a difference for why you're getting really good coffee versus something that's like just artificially flavored. I'm not just like suggesting some like Halloween themed coffees that just add fake flavor and it's the same bean. Pick this one up. This one says it has notes of creepy cocoa, cursed cherries, and haunted honey. This is a Columbia and Santa Barbara estate and Ethiopia washed processed coffee. So again, to just clarify and explain a little bit, those notes that they're describing in here, what happens is the companies source these coffees from different regions like Ethiopia, Colombia, or whatever, and they partner with these farms. And if it's a good coffee company, they're going to pay these roasters or these growers really good wages, and they're going to have good relationships with them. And then they're going to take those beans and they're going to what they call cupping and taste each bean and see what profile they taste, and those are the flavors that are on the back of it. It's not artificially flavored. The flavors in this coffee comes naturally from the ground, from the soil where it's grown. And so if you get a coffee from like Colombia, or if you get a coffee from like Ethiopia, depending on how it's processed, it's going to have more fruit, a lot of fruit forward notes. And then if you get something from like Guatemala, you might have more like chocolate or nuttiness or something like that. Mexico is going to have like a lot of nuttiness. And so that's just from where it's sourced from. And these are just like kind of suggestions for what they taste in the bean. So again, just want to hammer that home because it's a very like kind of confusing thing. And I have people all the time when I take coffee to work ask me if these are flavored like this. They see it on the front of the box and I'm like, oh, is that flavored? No, it is not artificially flavored. It is good sourced coffee with flavors coming naturally from the soil. So this one right here, this is the Halloween 3, I almost said Halloween, like Hulu's, Halloween playlist. And this one is an Ethiopia anaerobic natural. So without, again, getting too crazy, anaerobic generally means that it's got like sort of like a funky, almost fermented flavor to it. And this one's got notes of strawberry, blueberry, and cherry wine. So for me personally, Ethiopia is one of my favorite coffees, or one of my favorite sources from coffee, especially a natural process Ethiopia. It's going to be a lot of fruits generally, depending on how they're roasted. And most of these coffees are going to be roasted light to medium. You're new to coffee and you're not like a super big coffee person, I don't want to insult anybody, but generally speaking, dark roast is not good coffee. I know I know when you talk to people, they say they only drink dark roast. I'm only saying this to a video because no one's actually going to be talking back to me right now. But if you only drink dark roast, you're not a coffee person. You've got to get into light and medium roast. Dark roast beans just cover up most of the flavor. Does that mean that you can't have good dark roast coffee? No, absolutely not. But most of the time when you go to the store especially and you get dark roasted coffee, it's just basically burnt coffee sourced from who knows where, covering up all the imperfections of the bean, and you're not getting the flavors, you're not getting good coffee. So there, I said it. No, that's enough of the rant, enough explaining. I just wanted to really clarify that what makes these different is not like you see Bones Coffee Supply. They have really cool bags, really cool artwork and design. And if you check out their coffee company, they're a cool coffee company, but it's the same coffee and it's artificially flavored. It's not very good. And like, I love what they're doing with their bags and their artwork and their themes and stuff like that. They have some really cool concepts, but that is not the same as this. So that's why when I tell you like the price tags for these, and I link these to below and you go check them out, I want to really like explain that this is different than just fake flavored coffee that you're going to find somewhere. Okay. So you're still watching the video. Now on to just explaining a little bit about these special themed coffees, why I buy them from them every year. So Brandywine is one of the main coffee roasters that does a lot of these special coffees every year. So like I said, they did a Friday the 13th coffee, specifically because, you know, we had a Friday the 13th in October. So this was a really cool one I had to pick up. This was really good. And then every year they do like a scary stories to tell in the dark themed coffee. So this year they did more scary stories to drink in the dark. So like I said, it's like a yearly thing that they do. Really cool. Like the artwork is done in-house by someone. I'm not exactly sure who does all their artwork, but their artwork is really cool. They always have these like little brandings on them too. And then every year, at least since I've been getting them, they partnership with a coffee company called Fellow. That's actually my kettle lab over here is my Fellow Stag EKG. And they do Felloween. And so this is the third year of Felloween. So you can see this is Felloween 3. And so again, this is Brandywine, but partnering with Fellow. And so this is actually kind of a limited drop. This one's sold out. This one's sold out. This one I believe is still available if anyone's interested in that, but I'm just kind of showing you. Again, when these drop, I usually jump on them because I get really excited about them. You can see the previous years. This is the Felloween from last year. It says Felloween 2022. I have the bag just because I think it's cool to keep. And then this is my favorite coffee company of all time, ONYX Coffee. When they partnered with Brandywine, the very first year I got into ONYX and Brandywine, and they did something called Big Kid Candy 2. And so I assume it was a Big Kid Candy 1. This is ONYX partnering with Brandywine. You can see Brandywine did the artwork for this. Try to do some like close-up stuff here, but so you can see it a little better. But you see Brandywine did the artwork for this. I was kind of hoping we'd get a Big Kid Candy 3 this year, but instead they released ONYX released a different Halloween themed coffee. But first I want to show their last year's because I just think every year ONYX is an awesome company anyway. You should just check them out just in general. But every year for Halloween, they kind of come up with something creative and different. Last year they did Cry for Yelp, which was basically their like attempted humor while also creating like a Halloween themed coffee. And what they did is they actually released like a metal album, like a little EP for free, and released this coffee, Cry for Yelp, and the album, the EP, basically just reads all of their bad Yelp reviews in metal song lyrics. And so it's really, really genius, really funny. Also was a really, really good coffee. You can see they've got the little 1-star right there. So I thought that was a really, really funny way to like poke fun at people who give them poor Yelp star reviews, because mostly from like their coffee shop, not their actual like coffee beans. So they're located in Arkansas, and so their coffee shops have Yelp reviews, and so that was mostly from there. But it was really funny. Just listening to some of the reviews in the lyrics is really funny also. So this was last year's release, and then again, like I said, Big Kid Candy was the year before. This year, they did something really cool, and they partnered with bands a lot. They just did a partnership with Silverstein, and release beans in a mug with Silverstein. But for Halloween, they partnered with the Devil Wears Prada and released a coffee bean and a special edition mug together for Halloween, as well as just in celebration and like partnership with the Devil Wears Prada. And so you can see the mug is really cool. These are still available. I'm pretty sure if you go on there, I'm pretty sure they're still available. You could check these out. So this is called Color Decay, which is the same title as their last album. If you know who the Devil Wears Prada is, you listen to them at all. And so this is, like I said, in partnership with them, and supposedly it's a bean that they specifically picked out, the band did, and they may or may not drink on tour. I don't know, but it's a really cool concept and also good timing for Halloween. The notes on this one, I believe, if I can find them, I actually can't remember, but I know there's grape and something else. I can't remember all the notes on these, but it is really good. I'm trying to let it sit. I did brew one batch, but I'm trying to let it sit. Generally, I try to let coffee sit 2 weeks after it's roasted for best flavors. At least I try to. I know that's mostly a light roast, but I try to let them sit a little bit. And so these ones I've been drinking more right now, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. But I just want to talk a little bit about these coffees, because for me personally, loving coffee and loving these bands and loving the holiday and just being excited about Halloween release, I always get really excited, and I want like some special Halloween themed coffees. Generally speaking, they try to source beans and roast them so that they're catered a little more towards the holiday, like kind of maybe like interesting, unique flavors, or like caramels, candies, things like that. So that always gets me really excited. So yeah, I appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you're interested at all, check out some of these companies. I'm gonna link them down below. Like I said, they're not all available. This one sold out, this one sold out, but I think this one might still be available. And they just released a Hocus Pocus one, which I would have bought if I didn't have so many. And I believe that they released a strange, it's like a special coffee that they do. It's another Halloween, but it's like a variation of it. So they have a couple other Halloween ones, and they have a Hocus Pocus one they just released. So if you're interested in checking it out, I will link them below. Check out Brandywine, and then also check out ONYX. ONYX only has the one themed coffee, but they have other partnerships all the time with bands and stuff. This is still available, so go check this out if you're interested at all. Pick this up. It's really good. ONYX is actually my favorite coffee company of all time. They just don't do as many holiday themed coffees, so that's why I'm focusing more on Brandywine for this video. And real quick, prices, if you're interested at all, like I said, I'll link them below, but they range generally from like $20 to $30 a bag, something like that. And they're all different sizes. These ones I believe are 12 ounces, this one's 10 ounces, but I know it sounds expensive, but especially if you're used to like just getting coffee at Costco, or if you're used to getting like whatever coffee at Safeway, and is it gonna like absolutely blow your mind? Not unless you brew it right. It's not gonna be, I'm gonna put this into a drip and just be like, yeah, that was worth 30 bucks. But as you open up your world to maybe some better coffee, some different ways of brewing, I definitely would recommend checking out some of these roasters. ONYX has some very good blends that they sell that are a little bit more budget friendly. So if you're interested in checking those out, but yeah, like I said, link them below if you guys are interested at all. There's not affiliate links. I just love these companies and I love these coffees. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys are having an awesome October. It's almost Halloween. Let me know if you guys are interested in this at all, or what coffee you're drinking right now. I want to know what you're sipping in October. Thanks for watching, everybody.